Evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Glad to see we have so many people in here already. The chat's filling up, and I've said hello to a few people over there. We have Mr. Demoots in here with us today. Thank you for being here, David.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad to be back. It's been a while.
David's produced some fine photography here over the last couple of weeks. Man, if you guys haven't seen it, I'd like to invite everybody over to our Facebook page. We have AP Studios Group on Facebook. And thanks to everybody that's been sharing a lot of photos. You know, you don't realize how inspirational that is for a lot of people to see those photos. It forces people to get out and start shooting again. So just keep posting some beautiful photos over there, by the way, by everybody. Just invite everybody to go over and check it out and maybe share your work. All right, David, we have all these shows going on, and that was kind of the start for the show today. Of course, we're gonna talk about what you want to talk about, the community wants to talk about over here in the chat, but I thought we'd kick it off with Imaging USA's wrapping up right now, and that's Professional Photographers Association puts that on. I haven't seen a lot coming out of the show, but I have seen a few people dropping some videos about what was going on. The setting looked fantastic. I'll tell you that. But the big one's coming here in about 3 weeks, CP Plus in Japan. So Camera and Photographer Plus in Japan, 2023 kicks off. I think it's the 26th. It's been so confusing trying to figure out the actual date off their schedule, but I think it's the 26th that it kicks off. It could be the 23rd and it runs to the 26th. I don't know. Either way, this is the show everybody's hoping we get some announcements, and not just in the Nikon camp, but in the Canon, Sony, Fuji, and OM. I mean, this is going to be the place to kick it off for the year. I think Canon's done a fantastic job over the last 6 months with cameras. They may be running a little dry, although there's a rumor that the R8 will be announced possibly at CP Plus. Of course, all of us in the Nikon camp, I mean, come on. What are we waiting for? Everybody say it at once. We're waiting for the Z8, okay?
Z8.
Yeah. And who knows whether we'll get an announcement, a development announcement or whatever for the Z8, but we expect a camera, Nikon, a camera.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a Z6 III, Z7 III, or the Z8, but we expect a camera, not a vlogging camera, okay? So that's what we're hoping for. I don't know what Fuji is looking for. Any of you Fuji shooters, are there any expectations from you? And Sony as well. But there is a rumor at this point that Sony is going to drop some firmware updates. I don't know what for, and you guys can tell us in the chat, or you're welcome to come on the show and talk about it as well. But anyway, everybody typically has expectations at CP Plus. This is their first shot for the year to really announce something. So I'm looking forward to it. I did read an article by Tom Hogan on his blog, By Tom. You can go to bytom.com and look up Tom Hogan. And most people know who he is. If you don't, you can check him out. He's a big Nikon guy. But anyway, he has an article, and he's talking about NDAs, which we have talked about extensively here on the show. Mm-hmm. And maybe there is a crackdown. Maybe we were right. There is a big crackdown going on as far as NDAs, and that could be why we're not hearing much out of Japan. I watched Grays of Westminster this morning, and Becky and Khan were talking about, Nikon rumors, dropping the rumor that there may be up to 8 lenses off the roadmap that would be announced this year. Tom kind of talks about that too, saying this hasn't even entered into the circular reporting, because it hasn't been picked up by enough people. Therefore, it may be just that, a rumor without any sourcing or anything else. So I guess what I'm getting at is Nikon has been very closed-lipped, so we all sit and wait. We got 3 more weeks, and we'll see if Nikon announces anything. But we do know the 85 1.2 is, well, according to Nikon, it's a development announcement, but I think we can rest assured that the development portion is over and we can expect to see that lens before too long. I'll tell you how much I expect to see it. I called my camera store yesterday and just brought up the fact that Nikon has at least said there is there is a development announcement for the 85 1.2. And with that, they decided that they would go ahead and start a list. So I got on the list for the 85 1.2. Hopefully, we'll see that before too awfully long. And we know we're going to get the 26 millimeter 2.8, the pancake lens, and everybody expects the 35 1.2 as well. So there are three that I feel pretty sure that we'll see. Beyond that, I don't know. And we definitely in the Nikon camp, not myself, but for so many people, anticipate the 2 to 600. But Tom goes on to mention that as well in his article. It's worth looking at. Nikon does have, even in the development cycle, they'll have products that go out to the field for testing, and then they come back out of the field after the testing phase. And where they might have been ready to announce, they decide at that point they want to make some adjustments on the hardware side of the house. And they have been known to push the announcement further down the road because of the things they want to change. So that's a possibility. That may have been what's been going on with the 2 to 600, but maybe we'll see something soon. So I'm hoping that the Sony fans get what they want in their firmware updates. I hope the R8 is announced and everybody's happy with that in the Canon camp. Can't speak for you Fuji guys. You just got a recent cameras. What was I going to say? OM, of course, the OM1 last year. So I don't know. What are you guys expecting? Or in lenses even. So anyway, just wanted to throw all that information out there and we can talk about it in the chat. Now let me jump over here to the chat and see who all we have. Martin Hild, RS. Albert's been in here. Ray Powell. Greg Wilson, Nature Photography. Jim over at J-Rod Photo Art. And I'm going to I'll check out the comments here in a minute. Now let me shut up and let David speak for a minute. Let him explain where he's been hiding for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I felt like I had to get on here before everybody forgets me. It's been a while. I've been busy out shooting and just other things in life, kind of taking the front seat instead of, in photography, kind of taking the back seat. But been working over some old images as well. You've probably seen some of those on the AP Studios group that I've been uploading. But basically just been out doing some other things that I had to get caught up on around the house and just with family in general. But things are freeing up a little bit. Can't stay too long today, but I do have an appointment. But just wanted to get back in here and see everybody. It's been a while and say, hey.
Well, good, David. And the photos that I was telling you before we kicked it off here, man, some fantastic photos, brother. I mean, fantastic, beautiful. Hope everybody else has checked him out over on AP Studios group on Facebook. He has been posting them there as other places as well.
I've noticed the group's growing pretty quick, getting a few members almost every day, it seems like.
Yeah. And by the way, it's not all Nikon shooters either.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yep. It's fantastic. J-Rod. Jim says, did you notice Nikon USA profile will now allow you to update your credit card info? Wow. I wonder how that came about.
I wonder if that applies to your orders, though. I'll have to get on there and check that out. I haven't noticed that, but I haven't been on there lately.
You might have started something there, David.
It's possible. That would be nice because that was a real pain.
Mm-hmm. Yep. ATR Bears in here, Mr. Ted. Rakesh, good to see you. All right. Let me go down the list here, see what else is going on. Greg Wilson. Nikon's booth will have a sign saying, with unexpected demands on products, we are unable to participate. You know, it is funny because Nikon builds demand before, just in rumor mills, before they even talk about a product.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think they would keep an eye on that and realize that we're not going to get away with that statement because we can already see the demand that's building out there. Maybe, hint, hint,
Yeah.
Nikon.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
man. Albert says Fujifilm heavily emphasized crop sensor cameras last year, but I anticipate they will transition to medium format systems this year. Okay, so updates in that arena. Okay, that's a possibility. And of course, I'm sure anybody that's in Fujifilm is looking forward to maybe some kind of an announcement or something taking place out at CP Plus. David, new microphone.
Yes, it is. I think I might have had it the last time I was on, but it is a
I think
newer
you
one.
did. Yeah. And Ray says, great pigeon photos.
Gotta love those pigeons.
All right.
That's funny.
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. I see the band is back in business. Yeah, we're putting the band back together here. We're going to do another tour. We just need we need the other folks as well. Maybe they'll get in here. All right. Daryl says, not sure what it means, but it's interesting. Nikon's pushing out a lot of firmware recently. Yeah, they are. Are they trying to finalize the Z9 maybe? Because the Z9's got what, 5 updates, firmware updates, 4 updates?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I've lost track of how many updates now.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and count them at this point.
Maybe they're working overtime just to get all those done, get it out of the way, because here comes the Z8. We can hope, right?
Yeah.
Darren Francis, how you doing, Darren? Ray Powell says, who needs advertising when you have Rumor Mill do the work for you? That's so true. That's so true. You know what, though? Again, I go back to Nikon Rumors, who I followed anytime we were expecting anything. I mean, I checked the site several times a day looking for possible rumors. Haven't been any. So again, we go back to that conversation about NDAs and Nikon. There is a good explanation in that, or on that, with Tom Hogan. He had some. He talks about having a couple of sources very close to Nikon. I can't remember the exact verbiage he used, but actually one of them, I think, wound up losing his job over leaking information or something like that. It's worth going to read. It's really interesting. Well, Jim says, firmware updates proof Nikon is listening and fixing issues and making things better. Yeah, I'll give you about a 50% on that, Jim, from my point of view. But yes, they are. At least they are continuing with the firmware updates. But it has been funny how many there have been for the Z9, and it's brand new. Not bad. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. Even the D850 just got an update. And Becky was trying to explain that this morning, what that is. And if you don't use Nikon's proprietary editing software, then you're not going to even see the benefits of one point in that update. I can't remember what was it? Portrait something. I can't remember now. But if you got a D850, Ted, there's an update for you. You just have to use Nikon NX, and it has to be the new updated version of Nikon NX. How you doing, Brian? Six String Brian in the house. I know you've been busy. He's shooting hockey on weekends, so he stays busy. Yep. That's good, though. If you're a working photographer, it's good to be busy. Since Chuck has a full head of hair and slender, he will always be the band's lead singer. I don't know. I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, man. That would be a mistake. Uh,
That's funny.
So anyway, what do you guys want to talk about today? I just brought up CP Plus because I know that there are those of us. I know there are people that don't care and don't want to speculate on anything. They don't care about rumors, and that's fine. Rather than ragging on us that do, just don't pay attention because we like it. It's fun. All right.
I'm trying to find where James was talking about where you can update your credit card, because I'm on my order and I don't see anything in there. I may have to get with James and see where he's finding that. Yeah, I don't see anything where I can change anything on the order. You might be able to do it on your actual account.
Yeah.
Once you place an order, I don't know if you can change it yet.
What's interesting that it just popped up, though. I mean, especially after what you were going through. Maybe Nikon is going to refer to whatever the credit card is that you have on file. Maybe that's it. So if you do,
that would be good. I mean, that makes sense.
Yep.
To do something like that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I logged in too. My MPS membership was about to expire.
Uh-oh.
That probably would have hosed me.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go through that process one more time, folks. I'm going to try it one more time, NPS, because now I actually have an LLC for AP Studios. So I'm going to give it a shot one more time with Nikon, trying the NPS route. I don't know why. I'm sure you see Jim's comment there. They have a setting for default credit card section. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look in that. Must be under the your Nikon USA account, I'm guessing, and not the NPS where your orders are. Huh.
Yeah.
But that would be nice if you could do that. I'll investigate that later.
All right. Brian talking about not much news or footage from Imaging USA. We were talking about that earlier, Brian. I was expecting more videos of the conference. I was too. I really was. And I have searched, and there are a few videos out there, but really they're just, hey, here I am. I'm here pretty much, and not much talk about what's gone on. Looking at their Imaging USA's video for the show, I mean, the setting, the Expo Center there at Opryland in Nashville, it looked fantastic. I mean, they did a great job setting everything up, but yeah, I expected to see something from somebody. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to see it from WPPI because I'm going to be out there. Vahagan's going to be out there. Ron Pollard's going to be out there. And you're going to see some things coming out of WPPI because as much as I can, I'm going to try to do that, show everybody what's going on. And I look forward to seeing everybody that may be out there and meeting a whole bunch of people. I'm actually going total celebrity here with I'm having a couple of shirts embroidered, AP Studios on the back, and the whole 9 yards, man. We will be represented at WPPI in the most ridiculous way, maybe, but we will be represented there.
Cool.
Craig jumping on during a quick lunch. Thanks, Craig. A lot of people do that. We see a lot of people come through during lunch, hang out for a few minutes, and then it's of course it's back to work. But glad to see you in here. Thanks a lot. Brian says he attended 2019 Imaging USA show in Nashville and he enjoyed it. Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a lot of fun from what I saw from their Imaging USA putting up their video. You were going to say something, David?
No, I was just reading something here. No.
All right. So that's the news in a nutshell, which isn't a lot of news.
Yeah, unfortunately, right now.
But I'm hoping that it's because they have cracked down so much on leaks. And it's
Yeah,
not the fact that there's nothing out there to even speculate on. That would be
yeah,
the bad thing. Uh, Daryl just pulled it up too. I guess he's
yeah,
talking about, yeah.
yeah. I found it just now on my regular Nikon account. You can remove and update that, but which you've always been able to do that, but you can't do it on your MPS orders,
Ah,
which is a shame.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, come on, that's an easy fix for
Yeah,
Nikon.
it's a software fix, is all it is.
Yeah, I mean, take a few minutes
Yeah,
instead of sitting around twiddling your thumbs over there because there's nothing to report, and do some software updates. I've had trouble on Nikon USA. Has anybody else had trouble? I've had trouble constantly with Nikon USA. The
trying to get
site's down or trying
yeah,
to log in, and it takes
yeah,
me to some arbitrary page not available or
yep.
something.
Yeah, it just happened to me just now while I was trying to log in to do all this. It kept taking me to a site that says 404 not found, and
Yeah. I mean,
finally I
come
got
on,
in.
Nikon. I
I know.
mean, you're not instilling a lot of faith in us here. You can't
Yeah,
even run a website.
yeah, it's weird. Sometimes, yeah, Craig just said sometimes he has to use Chrome. I've found that out too. That if I try to use like Edge or something else,
And sometimes I have to use Safari.
yeah, it's really weird. It is weird. Their
They
site
can
is
spin a
messed up.
wheel. Who are we supporting today? Which browser, Safari or Chrome?
Yeah, it's crazy. I went round and round one day with them, and I even called them. They're like, "Well, no, our sites are up." I said, "No, they're not."
Beg to differ. Well, it's your end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always. I'm like, she's like, try different browser. I said, I've tried every browser they make.
Oh man. Oh. So do you do you experience this? You guys that shoot Sony, do you experience it with Sony or Canon or Fuji? I wonder. Just give us another reason to pick on Nikon today. Yeah, and I'm a Nikon shooter, and so many people don't understand that. Well, how could you talk bad about Nikon? Or they think that I won't, talk about Nikon in a negative way. I'm sorry to say, but there are times when I'm not so I'm not so pleased with how Nikon's operating. I know, but who am I, right? Put me in charge, coach. Oh man. Oh, and they changed the product registration process. Okay. I need to go on there and I need to clean up my all my registered products. I've got a couple that need to go away, and I think I need to add a lens or something. I'm not sure. I need to go check it out. But it's
Yeah.
so aggravating at times.
Yeah, it is. I just did that too myself not too long ago. I kind of removed a few things and added some new stuff in. I didn't notice anything different at that time, but maybe it's changed since the last time I did it.
Yeah. Brian says Sony Pro needs some improvements also. Well, I'm glad to know it's not just Nikon. I mean, Nikon gets beat up enough by me often, but definitely by some of the influencers. Luis says many sites these days only work properly with some browsers, and I'm finding that out. My first taste of that was right here on Restream. Just so everybody knows, if you want to join the stream, and you send me your email so I can email you the link. So far, it only works well in Chrome. So if you want to be on the show at any point in time, make sure you have Chrome downloaded because it only works in that browser correctly. Anytime anybody's tried to log in or join the show and they're in Safari, we have big audio problems. And that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that it is weird. But I'll tell you what, Chuck, right now I'm on Microsoft Edge. That just because it defaulted when I clicked on the link and it's
Okay.
working fine.
Okay.
But I'm on a
Good.
Windows PC. I know the Macs have some issues with Safari.
Yep.
You definitely need to use Chrome. It works much smoother on a Mac.
Breaking news. Breaking news. M&Ms are on sale at giant food stores. Man, I don't have a giant food store near me. Or I'd be over there stocking up. Man.
That's because James is taking pictures of them. He's probably buying them all.
Yeah. Roy, did you sneak in here? I didn't see you. Mr. Roy Bigsby. So his camera's been in the shop with a broken lens mount. And I guess you already answered down here. They promise not long now. Nikon promise.
Well,
I
oh
hope
yeah,
so,
that's
Roy.
right. I forgot he had that broken lens mount, but I've heard people getting their cameras back for that recall pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that he had this problem during that because I'm
Yeah,
sure that's clogging the pipeline.
that's true. Could be.
Uh, let's see. Yeah, I need to update my page on Nikon USA with all the. Like I said, I need to go in there and clean it up. I've sold some cameras and lenses and bought some, obviously here in the not too distant past, lenses. Need to get it cleaned up. There, Rot Von Rat. Hi, Chuck and David. I have a dry cabinet for my camera gear. Register that none of you pros do have it, and of course, now wondering if I fell into the hype. I don't. Where are you at?
A
I don't
lot of
think
it
you fell
depends
into the
on
hype.
a lot of it depends on where you live. Is what I've heard. I don't personally use one. Never have in all the years that I've had equipment. I've never had an issue. But I've heard of other people that live in really humid environments
Yep.
that they've had issues and they use dry cabinets.
I've looked at them, over the years, but being up in Connecticut, it is extremely dry. There's very low humidity up here. When I get down to Tennessee, I'm going to relook at the cabinets because I don't think it hurts to put them in a dry cabinet and keep them in a dry cabinet. If
Oh
nothing
yeah,
else, just the
it's
dust
definitely
in your house,
it's definitely not going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got the money for it, I don't think you're wasting your money on it.
No, I don't think so either, brother. And Roy's rediscovered his D850 since he's been waiting for his Z9 to return. Get that update in it, that firmware update, Roy, that just dropped for the D850. Still showing love for DSLRs. And I think that's what Nikon means when they say they haven't discontinued DSLRs. I think that they have discontinued building DSLRs, but,
But they're still maintaining them for you.
Nikon is such a great political speaker. They can talk around everything.
That's right.
No, we're not building any more DSLRs, but we're going to keep doing some firmware updates.
Yeah.
Couldn't say it that way. No.
I didn't even look at what the new firmware for the D850 did. I saw it come out, but I didn't even look at because I don't have a D850 anymore, so I wasn't really too worried about it. Was it anything major?
No, just this, whatever it is, portrait. I don't know, something. I don't know. But you can only use it in Nikon. You can only use that function in Nikon NX.
Oh, okay. So it's
none of the other software will support it, whatever it is.
Okay, portrait impression balance. Okay, I see. Whatever that is.
That was poor Becky trying to explain this morning. Portrait impression balance. What is that?
Oh, and it had a lock mirror up for cleaning. Fixed an issue with that, it looks like, too. Huh.
Daryl says he doesn't think the cameras in the recall actually need repair. Wonder if that is why they are quickly turned around. Could be. It's a good point.
Yeah, people send them in even though they don't fall into the list of cameras.
Or even if they do fall into that lot number, slot, or I'm sorry, serial number slot. Maybe it's just the fact that it wasn't every camera in that group, but just certain cameras got bad parts.
Yeah, and they get them back. They get them in there and they look at them, say, "Oh, this one's good," and they send it right back. That's possible.
Craig loves his dry cabinet. Yeah, I don't see, especially when they go on sale. That may be the time to buy a dry cabinet.
Yeah,
but it's kind of deceiving when you look at it and you see there's a sale and it's only $89. Oh, that's not bad. And you get it and it's like a shoebox.
Yeah. That's the problem with them is I'd need a big one if I wanted to put everything in there.
Right. And you know what? I think more importantly, David, what do you think? I would probably concentrate on keeping lenses in it rather than bodies.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do anything, you definitely want to, especially if you live in an environment that's really humid all the time, you want to keep them lenses in there.
Roy, I love a dry cabinet, but I might need a big one. Roy, you need a dry room. You need a clean room, like something out of a science there. Don't buy it from China because there's leak. We just about killed half the population of the world because Roy's already updated his D850. Okay. You'll have to give us a rundown on what you noticed.
I don't know what Ray said. He says you can now lock the mirror up on the D850. You could do that before. I think they just fixed something with it under certain conditions.
There you go. Seraphin says he keeps his in a 7x4 safe, had custom made for pistols and cameras. There you go. Mr. Photo by Tay. How you doing, right, Tay? All right. Mr. Tay Keys. Good to see you, brother. I know you've been busy. I've seen several of your videos and things you've put out. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, Roy needs a dry room. Absolutely. Roy, minor bug fix. Yep. Looking at the comments, folks. All right, again, you guys have something you want to talk about, drop it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Roy used to work in a clean room. Okay. Roy, then you should know how to build one. You need to build one for your photo room there. You updated your Z50. I'm sorry, Jim, was there an update for the Z50? I missed that.
Yeah, I think there was. I think one just came out.
Ted says he has several small cabinets, helps keep everything organized and neat. Yep. Yeah, I'm still interested in dry cabinets. Again, though, up here, my biggest nemesis here at the house is dust. And why is my screen over here like I'm looking through? Daggone, what's going on? It's like ice buildup on the screen looking through it. Uh, there we go. All right. It was just on my end. Uh,
Yeah, there's a 2.4 for the Z50.
okay.
Eye detection AF now available during video recording. And they improve the eye detection performance and refresh rate for the focus points displayed in live view. Huh. Sounds like a pretty decent little update.
Where did I hear that? Was it Z Wade talking about it? He just dropped a video talking about, the Nikon news,
Yeah.
what's out there right now. Talked about the firmware update. Was he talking about it? I can't remember who. Maybe it was Con and Becky talking about it made the focus points stickier or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess no love for the Z30. Nope.
Well, there you go. Craig's talking about this is the cabinet he bought. It holds 7 lenses, including a 200 with FTZ. Wow. Gripped body, drone, and more. Good. Yeah, man.
He must mean 200 to 500 is what he's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He posted it a little bit later. Yep. Yeah, like I said, nothing wrong with getting one. It can't hurt, that's for sure.
No, not at all. And B&H runs sales periodically where the dry cabinets come up. How many of you people actually check out B&H? You know that every night at midnight Eastern time, B&H drops another, what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it, but they have certain items that they drop that'll be on sale all day, that 24-hour period. And I'll tell you, the deals sometimes are fantastic. If you don't check it every day, you could miss out on something. This is where I've bought a lot of things. I don't buy from it every night, obviously, but I mean, there are things that come up for sale that are great deals.
Isn't that it's like
deal zone? That's what
deal
they
zone.
call it.
Yeah. Yep.
And man, you periodically check it out, folks. You may, if there's anything that you're waiting for, you're waiting to purchase because of the price or whatever, check it out, because often one of those items will show up in the deal zone, and it's usually at a pretty good price. Right.
And if you have their Paybu card, it's even a better deal.
There you go. Hey, Tate, I'm sorry I dropped your comment there. Glad to hear, man. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I hope things are well with the family also. Hey, Stuart, how you doing? Stuart's joined us. Thank you, Michael. Michael and Jim both, J-Rod Photo Art. You guys are great. You're always talking about like and subscribe, and you guys are typically the ones that remind me. So with that said, the shameless plug again. Thank you, Mama, for my Christmas present. Here you go, folks. Here we are.
Nice.
Don't forget. Thank you. Mama said, I'll remind you, a beautiful bride taking care of me. She said, I'll remind you to say it. But yeah, obviously likes are very motivating. Appreciate it. Love the comments after the fact too. Not just you guys that are in the chat, but I love receiving comments once it drops as a video. And thank everybody for all the comments on the latest video that I did. A stunning production as it was about thinking out loud, because I do that constantly. I'm always running around the house with some crazy idea going through my head. But thanks for all the comments on that. I really appreciate it. And this was not an attempt to influence Nikon or anybody else. It was just me thinking, why didn't they call the premier camera in the Nikon lineup the Z1? I'm sorry. I understand that numbers have meaning, but let's think internationally here. One always means winner.
Yeah.
Not ninth place, but first place. I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
I watched your video, and you had some good points. It makes you wonder, why they did that.
and
And
and sorry about the R8. I'm sorry, Canon. I was talking about a camera that didn't even exist yet. Um, but I meant the R3, obviously, and I think most people understood that. Yaman called me out, and I had to explain. I had to go back and look. I said, "Oh, you're right, man. What was I thinking?" Well, I was thinking the wrong camera body to reference. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, thanks for all the comments on that. And I love it because I get other people that come in with their ideas of, whatever. It's been really interesting.
Roy, Z1, Z1, Z1. I want one.
So yeah, could there be a Z1? What are they going to do with that number? Just throw it away? Z1, Z2, and Z4, right?
I think the Z1's going to be the true global shutter camera. They're going to develop the first true global shutter.
There you go. There's another idea.
And if they did that,
oh man,
yeah,
I did throw in a couple possibilities for the Z1 that was just, again, coming off the top of my head, a cine line of sorts. That could be a possibility. And the medium format, I really don't believe that's going to happen. That'll have its own designation, I'm sure. If they ever do that, Nikon will completely change the designation for that camera, I'm sure. But, what I was thinking more along the lines of was, the R3 and the R1. Could Nikon come out with it? Because so many people have asked for a lower megapixel camera, in the flagship body. Could it be that Nikon goes that route? They just reverse the numbers and they're going to make that the number one. I don't know. I wonder if they can consulted with anybody. Will it make a difference if we use 1 or 9? I think if they'd have done a poll, 1 would have won out. But anyway,
probably. Right. I mean, but why did they start? Z6, Z7, no Z8, then they went to Z9. So it makes you wonder. They have a plan, I'm sure.
Well, and they can definitely keep people from speculating because there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like,
yeah.
All right, we got a new camera body. Roll the dice. 7. All right. So, Long Rider says you live in a cold climate, going indoors and outdoors. It's important to gradually let the camera adapt to temperature change, causes condensation inside. Yep. Another thing that would be convenient about a dry cabinet would be coming in from the outdoors in a real cold environment. But man, I've tempted the beast on that many times. Just I bring the camera in, let it sit, leave it alone. Who knows how much moisture's been inside my cameras. The lenses I'm more concerned with, honestly. I think the camera's pretty durable. But lenses,
Getting rid of his 100 to 400. He loves the 400 4.5. Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't need that zoom range, then the 400 4.5 is great all by itself. But I'm keeping both of mine. I like to shoot that 100 to 400 at times.
Yeah,
it comes in handy.
Well, I've made that statement many times. I'm a zoom person just because of the flexibility. And again, not that I'm shooting motocross anymore, but I use it as the example all the time. I got a whole lot more shots than the guy that was shooting a 600 F4. He was really limited.
There's something about that 100 to 400 too. It renders the images different than the 400 4.5. There's times I prefer the 100 to 400 images over the 400 4.5. It's really weird.
See, I'd like to be able to shoot them side by side, and you've had that opportunity,
Yeah.
David, and I think
Yeah.
that's great. That's good information for everybody out there. Craig,
Yeah.
sorry you have to go back to work, buddy, but thanks for dropping in.
Yeah. I've never done a video on it. I probably should, but I mean, I've done a video comparing the two before, but I've just shooting the same image, same subject with both lenses. There's something about that 100 to 400 that's just, to me, is looks wise, is just the color rendition and all that just looks better. It's, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something different with it.
That's excuse me, that's interesting. Yeah. I don't think I'd get rid of my zoom either, the 1 to 400, even if I did pick up the 400 4.5 or forget about it, the 400 TC. That ain't happening, not anytime soon for me. But yeah, I just, again, I like having that zoom. It's actually a better lens when that's what you need, is the flexibility.
Yeah.
Stuart, talking about the D850 body online, take a lot for wow, what is that, 39,000? Yeah, 30. I don't know what the
is it rubles?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the exchange rate is.
Rupees.
I know in 1987 or 88 was the first time I went to Kenya with the military, and they said turn in some money for an exchange. Somebody's going to go in and exchange it and bring it back out to us. I think I gave him like $20, and he brought out a wheelbarrow. I thought, I only gave you $20. He said, no, this is $20 in exchange.
Yeah.
In Kenyan shillings. Man, it was incredible, the exchange rate. Let's see. And I know I'm behind, folks. Lens Rentals is having a great sale. That might be of interest to everybody. I just bought 2 Zeiss Loxia lenses for $500 each. Manual focus Loxia 35 and 50. New, they are $1,200 to $1,300. Yeah, that is a great buy. So how does everybody feel about buying from someone like Lens Rentals? Now, look, I don't think I would have a problem with it, but I can see there are people that are really weird that way and being concerned about it being a rental. It's kind of like buying a rental car, Don't buy a rental car. That's the best off-road vehicle there is a rental car, any rental car.
I look at it this way, like if I rent the more expensive glass, not too many people are renting that really expensive glass.
Right.
And the people that are renting it are probably taking care of it because they for sure are buying the insurance on it when they rent them.
Yeah.
And, they don't want to be hung out to dry on trying to pay for something if they break it. So on the expensive glass, I wouldn't have a problem buying something from them, except you're really not going to get all that good a deal through those places. But it just depends on the lens, obviously. But I mean, I've bought from KEH before, and I've gotten good luck with them buying, 600 f4s and 500 f4s.
Yeah.
I've never had any issues buying those.
Hey, good. I'm going to put your comment up here. I know we just talked about it, but just in case anybody out there is interested, that you may get some folks that want to yank your chain about what you're looking for that lens or whatever. So anyway, if you're really selling it, there may be some folks in the chat that might be interested. Just throwing it out there.
So
public service.
The 39,000R is a rand, and that is equal to $271.25 in US.
Okay. Well, all right. And that's new, he said. So great.
Okay. I don't even know what they're selling D850 for right now.
7 months, still waiting on my 800. Come on, Nikon. Yeah, I hear you. So maybe we'll get an announcement about a previous announcement at CP Plus. The announcement being that we now have the 800 millimeter, even though we previously announced it and sold it.
Yeah. The re-announcement of
They can start something new here.
that's one lens, I had it right off the bat and shot it, but I kind of wish I didn't sell it to my buddy in a way. But then there's other times I think, God, you're just stuck at 800 all the time with that thing.
Yeah.
And it has its place, but I don't know. I'm looking for something a little more versatile. And the 400 is great. The 400 2.8, at 560 f4 is great, but I'm really wanting this 600 that I have on order. I can't wait to get it. It's a shame it's taken forever, but I think I'm going to be happier with that 600 than any of them.
How could you not be happy with it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I tell you what, if I had the chance to get an FL 600 FL, I'd probably just, a good deal on it.
Yeah.
I'd probably just buy that, and I wouldn't even worry about the new one because image quality wise, there's not much difference, if any at all.
Well, the Hoggin's extremely happy that he bought the 600 FL, even though, as he says, I'm not going to shoot it all the time, obviously, because it doesn't fit, other than going out and when he wants to go out and shoot birds or surfers or whatever.
Yeah.
But he couldn't pass the deal up, and it is a pretty phenomenal lens, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean, I've had one before, and I made the mistake of getting rid of it in preparation for this 400 2.8, and I should have held on to it. But if I had a chance to get another one at a good deal, they've got the prices on those things marked way up right now.
Mm-hmm. B&H fire sales are bad for my bank account. You and me both, Joe. Or they can be. The deal zone sales. And that's where the microphone came from. Got a great deal on it. Didn't use it for 2 years after I bought it. Just sat in the box. I didn't even open it. But I knew that it was a great deal. And so many other things around here. I'm kind of stupid that way. If I know I'm going to want it or use it or whatever down the road, why not buy it when it's on sale if I have the money available? So I watch that just about every night. I used to stay up till midnight every night just to watch it because I have seen some phenomenal deals that by the time I got up in the morning, gone, sold out, no rain check, because it was such a phenomenal deal. Jay Kimmer, thank you very much. I'll tell my bride, she got that for me for Christmas. And I thought it was a joke, but she's serious. No, that's to remind you.
Although, James, go back to the 800 real quick. You will love it when you do get it. It's a great lens. So, when it finally does come, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think for what James has been doing lately, he's all bird and flight, especially out there at Conowingo Dam, and that 800 would be a pretty precious lens.
It's going to be a perfect lens for there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That type of place is where that lens shines.
Yep. Robert, I've told people that if you ever get a chance and you're in New York City to go to B&H, it's worth the trip. And if you think you're going to go in there and be out in a couple of minutes, just go in to say hi and I was there. You just get trapped inside B&H because just about anything photography related, not to mention that they have all kinds of electronics. Don't think it's just photography, but anything photography related, you can put your hands on it at B&H instead of just having to look at a picture.
They sell computers and stuff, don't they?
Yes, they do. Audio, big time audio stuff. Lots of audio.
I have never been there, but if I get a chance to go there, I'm going to stop by there.
It's worth it, David. My wife, my bride, when we went down to New York City, the first time we went, or not the first time we went down there, but the first time when we went down there, I said, I want to go to B&H. I wanted to pick something up. I could pick it up while I'm there. Anyway, she went in with me and she wanted to stay longer than I did. I was thinking, we need to get going here. And she said, but look at this. She was just absolutely enthralled with all the stuff. musical equipment. I mean,
That
it's
would be dangerous.
everything. Telescopes. They have a sound booth you can go in to test, speakers, and
Cool.
it's just great. They have a cage in the store so you can actually test fly a drone.
That's cool.
I mean, it's something else. It's definitely worth just stopping by. And we went down for a photo walk and never left B&H. I think we spent 4 hours in B&H.
That place must be huge.
It is and it isn't. It's very well organized. There's so much in it, in the space that they have. They own the whole building, but the store is really just 2 floors. But I mean, 2 floors in a building in New York City are pretty extensive,
Yeah.
Daryl says he's going to order the 1 to 400. Sorry, I know I'm way behind, guys. I'm going to jump ahead here in just a second. Roy says he's saving his pennies for the 85-1.2 and Mythical. The unicorn lens, the 2 to 600. Nikon's teased this for 3 years with that lens.
I'm gonna pick up, even if I get the 600 f4 before that, I'm still gonna pick up a 200-600 because I know it'll get used, and my wife will love that lens.
Yeah, I would expect it to be, fairly light and definitely easier to point. So it ought to be interesting.
It's not going to be an S lens, they're saying. So, but still, it's going to be optically good.
Yep. And Stuart, what is Mama going to get me for Easter? That's a good question. I have no idea. But she does. Any holiday, whatever it is, she's just like that. And it drives me crazy. Oh, man. And Roy, Z1. Absolutely. I hear you, Roy. Even though we don't know what it is, but if we could make it up, whatever we want, then yes, let's get a Z1 going. Yeah. Stuart, that's the reason she asked me, when are you going to wear that shirt? I said, it's a short sleeve t-shirt. It's cold. I'm not going to wear it right now. Maybe I get a long sleeve one.
Roy, I hope it's not a variable aperture. Everything they're talking about saying f6.3. That would be great on the 200-600.
I hadn't thought about it, but that would be okay, wouldn't it? 600 millimeter 6.3 is not bad.
Oh yeah, it would be fine. I mean, the 200 to 500, it was a 5.6 fixed. I don't see any reason why they can't make that 200 to 600 fixed aperture.
Nick, talking about the Z1, he says Nikon's numbering order leads me to predict it might be the Z10. And if it's an APS body, you're absolutely right, Nick. But see, that would be the difference.
Yeah.
Because right now, Nikon's designated the double digit for APS-C bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Z5, Z50, Z30. Well, we don't have a Z3. But yeah, if it's a Z10, could it be a Z10 and be the pro body APS-C? There's yet another. See, all this speculation. It's fun to think about these things, though. And I need to get it out of my head because I don't have much space left. My shelf's full up there, and if I put a new book on, one falls off. So I throw it out here in the audience.
Who knows what's in store?
Joe Stroud, how you doing, Joe? Good to see you, man. All right, now here's this is the big question. So many people out there. If you go over and watch Grays of Westminster, this is a typical question. Every stream they do is, will there be a ZF full frame body? I don't know. If Nikon does that, there is nothing that would infuriate me more than the Z30 than if Nikon were to announce a ZF full frame body at CP Plus, and that's it. I believe I'd come unglued. They did that to me last year with the Z30, and to do that this year, oh man, can you imagine? And 18 people would be happy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, 18 to 20 people would be happy. Not the base of the consumers. No, that. But I hope they do it down the road because I know a lot of people want it. It's just not the right timing. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, you know what? Fill the lineup out first. Right now, we have a one camera lineup. I know I'm a broken record. The Z6 II, Z7 II do not count. That's the reason they've been on sale for a year.
Yeah.
They do not count. We need the newer tech in lower priced bodies, which it seems everybody else has done except for Nikon.
Yep.
So let's go, Nikon. Let's get it. Fill the team before you start filling the bench. All right. But yeah, hey, Servin, I didn't mean to be so hawkish there, but yeah, man. Nikon needs to concentrate on a couple of other bodies first. Right now, I'm finding it hard to believe that we'll get 2 bodies this year. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get 3, but I'm just not seeing it. But maybe Nikon rented some more warehouses. I don't know. So trying to find a couple to pick before you get out of here, I'm going to fill up my coffee cup again real quick, which I didn't do before we started. And I've got Mr. D Moots in here to kind of, guys, I'm sorry, I'm jumping way down. Oh man, I am so far behind, but what's new? Nancy, good to see you in here.
I'll start from the latest and work down.
All right. All right, folks, I will be right back. You're in the capable hands of Mr. D Moots Photography. Take it away, David.
Okay. Hey, Daryl just brought up, Tom Hogan brought up a point about the 200 to 600 being re-engineered. I hope that's the case, and that's why it's taken so long, that they're re-engineering it and they're finding out that they are going to try to do a fixed aperture. That's my hope, is that they keep that thing on a fixed aperture. Who knows? Roy says he wished he'd been more careful with his Z9. It happens, man. It happens to the best of us. I remember dropping my D850, busting it up. He's going to correct the badge on a Z9 when it comes back to a Z1. Let's see here. Yeah, who all in the chat's waiting on the 85-1.2? I don't shoot that type of stuff too often, but I'm probably going to pick one up. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic lens. What else we got here? Birds here aren't very, Roy Bixby says birds here aren't very shy. Some are only 3 feet away. That is true. Even where I'm at, sometimes you can get really close to birds and you definitely don't need an 800. Terry, yeah, I kind of wish, that's what I wish the Z8's going to be, is a smaller bodied Z9 type camera. It would be great to have something like that, especially when you got smaller lenses on. I don't mind the Z9 body with my big glass. But when you're out doing landscapes and street stuff, it would be great. Yeah, the Tamron 90 macro. I used to have that lens. That was a great lens. Let me jump back down here, see what we've missed. If there's something we missed, you want to repost it in the comments. Yeah, I agree, Roy. I liked being able to take the grip off the D850. Yep, exactly. That's what was nice about the D850. That's why a Z8 with the guts of a Z9 or something like that, where you can put a grip on if you want, it would be I think it'd be a hot selling camera. That's one thing I do miss about the D850. Hey, Robert Daniels, how you doing? Terry Newman just pulled the trigger on a Z9. Gulp. Well, congratulations. Let's see what else we have here that we've missed. I think I've covered everything we've missed back here that we haven't talked about already.
All right, man. Thanks for catching up. You're probably better at it than I am because
Nick, we were just commenting about the D850 and how you could, ditch the grip if you wanted to have that smaller body. And, there's a few people in here that agree, which I miss that as well. That's why I was saying a Z8, like a little baby Z9 or whatever it's going to be, if it has a removable grip would be great. Especially when you put them smaller lenses on.
I saw a Long Rider statement about lens rentals and buying from them. I'm sure that they are pristine going out the door if you're buying it. No doubt about that. And that is a good thing. That's one positive about buying from a rental company is they're really good at maintenance on lenses and cameras and everything else. So you're going to get something that was taken care of by the rental company, maybe not by the renter, but all the flaws and everything are going to be fixed.
I've every time I've rented from them, I've gotten nothing but crate rental glass from them. It's always in great shape. They ship it well packed. It's really nice renting from them.
You may have already covered that. I was throwing up there. Martin saying he got his 800 PF in May. Oh, man. And Roy sold his 800 AFS. Wow. Yeah. The AFS, the 800, the F mount, man, that was a monster lens. That's a tripod lens for certain. Oh, man.
Michael was asking if I had any professional gigs coming up, and I actually do. I have an elderly couple that wants photos done, and I don't typically do this type of stuff, but I used to way back, senior photo shoots and stuff like that. But I do have an elderly couple that wants some photos done that I'm going to do a job for.
Nancy talking about buying the TCs, the F mount TCs for 70 to 200 and the 300. The 1.4, that's about as far as I would go on F mount TCs. The 2.0 is terrible.
And good luck finding the 1.4, especially the 1.4 Mark III.
Yep.
I don't know if you can even find them.
I have the 1.7, which nobody bought but me. I'm the only owner of a 1.7, I think. But I bought it as a compromise between what's good and what's bad. Maybe it's okay. And I had pretty good success with it on my old 400 AFS. So it actually worked well. But you got to stop it down.
Yeah. I shoot my 1.4 F mount 1.4 on my 500 PF all the time, and it's great on that little PF lens.
And it is a shame that you can't just buy into what Nikon's doing with the Z lenses, even though you're not converted yet to mirrorless cameras. It's a shame you can't buy those lenses and you're ahead of the game when you do switch and you get that new glass, which so far the Z glass has been nothing but stellar.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Somebody had, where was it? Oh, they were asking if I've used the TC 1.4 on the 100 to 400. And yes, I have. And very minimal image quality loss. I mean, it works well on there. I've had good luck with the Z teleconverters on all their lenses. Much better than the F mount side.
Roy, I'm going to correct it. Make it a Z1. There you go, Roy. What would Nikon do if we just started calling it the Z1, whether they like it or not? I got rid of my
Greg Wilson. This is a XLR mic going through the Rodecaster Pro 2 is what this is.
Man, I'm still way behind. All right, jumping to the bottom. Sorry, folks. Joe, there you go. There's another 1.7 shooter. All right, you had the 1.7 as well. Not happy with it at all. The 1.4 would be the only F-mount TC I would ever consider. I agree with you, Joe. I had some success with it, but, shooting at F28. So needless to say, it wasn't a low light lens at that point. Oh, man. And I know that there are a lot of people like Roy, they're not going to shoot TCs regardless.
Yeah.
I think that's changing a little bit with the Z lenses, isn't it?
It has. I'm telling you, the teleconverters, the 1.4 and the 2 in the Z side on the Z lenses, they really work well. It's much better than the F mount versions. Man, very good point, Phil. 85 1.2 and Z8 will cannibalize each other's sales. Yep, if they come out at the same time, most of us won't have money for both. You just described me to a T. I went ahead and pulled the trigger on the 1.2, the 85. Like I said, placed an order. Well, got on a waiting list, or they started a waiting list for that lens at the store, thinking that I'll have time to build up enough money for the Z8 by the time it actually materializes. It doesn't mean I won't get on the waiting list for it immediately, but it'll probably take me another couple of months to save up enough money for the Z8. So you're right. That'll be a tough one. There'll be a lot of people stretching their credit card balance on that. No doubt about it. How you doing, sir? Kaloon. I think I'm saying it right. Comfy stream to cook some steaks too. Man, that sounds good. Dang,
especially this time. Yeah, man.
Made me hungry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, I'm glad we're providing some entertainment while you cook those steaks. And if you're close enough, I don't know how far away you are, but maybe you could put an extra steak on the grill, and I'll be over right after the stream.
Yep. Suddenly I'm craving some meat.
Yeah, I hear you. There you go. Roy, I have 16 TCs, but I hardly ever use them.
You're sitting on some cash there, Roy, if you want to sell them.
Man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Steaks and shrimp on the barbecue.
Man, now everybody's talking about food, and I'm going to get hungrier. I didn't eat lunch before I started the stream. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting this year. Here we are in 2023, already speculating, just like we were doing in 2022. At least we had the Z9 that we could fight over, and that's exactly what we were doing. And, the great NPS debacle of 2021-22.
With no news out there, you can do nothing but speculate. It causes you to speculate.
Yeah, it does. And I'm happy for those people that they don't care. They're just sitting, they'll wait for, a decade before it's announced or whatever. I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like to speculate on what they're doing and dream and wish and all that stuff,
Yep. Robert Daniels, he says he found a young Instagram photographer that shoots a Nikon D3S. Wow. Sony and a Huawei, or however you say it, P40.
Well, that's the thing. None of these cameras are bad.
That's right.
You look back, the D500, the D850, the D810, all those, the D3s, 4s, you name it. They're all great cameras. You can't go wrong with any of that stuff. It depends on what you want and what you can afford.
Too much gas. New stuff hasn't even come out this year yet. Pray for me and my credit cards. Oh, man. I feel for you, because if it is a banner year in the Nikon camp, if that's what you're waiting for, then it's going to be an expensive ride.
Yeah, if they start coming out with some stuff and have some announcements, and actually it's going to be bad for me.
Yeah, I got to ask, Roy, why? A TC for his house of blood. Oh, man. But then again, Roy, you wouldn't be Roy if you didn't have one on hand to show us if it comes up in a conversation.
Yeah, really.
So we appreciate that. And Robert his name is, I guess, he's got it here. Let me switch to this one. I have to check him out. He's shooting just Instagram. We'll have to check it out. What do you guys think of Claire's photography school, or school of photography? I've been enjoying watching her shorts, and she just got her hands on a Z9, as you guys that have watched Vahagen know, and the interview that he did with her. So really interested to see where she's headed with her channel. Oh, Robert says his imagery is jaw-dropping. Now I definitely have to check it out. Appreciate that, Robert.
I'm looking at it right now. He's got some good images.
Does he?
Yeah. Yep. And they have that look. You can tell it's an older style camera. Mm-hmm. They have that look, but they're great images.
There's been a push to go back to the nostalgic look. I noticed that too here recently. All of a sudden, people are in love with that nostalgic look.
Trying to see
almost filmic.
Trying to see what lens he's got on that thing. looks like maybe a 500.
Terry Newman flexed the credit card, but kept my kidneys. Oh,
A lot of cool kingfisher shots on his, or kingfisher type birds. I don't know where he's from, but yeah, definitely worth a look.
he has a clip that has over 14.7 million views. Wow. Man, that's amazing. Nikon has a contest going on. What sort of images would capture their eye and consider you? I don't know.
Is it a theme for their contest?
I don't know. How about it, Phil? Are you just asking in general? Because on Instagram, everybody just posts to the Nikon page or Nikon, whatever it is, Nikon Instagram page, I guess. And every now and then Nikon will recognize a photo or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just a regular Joe. Not a tuber Instagram tog, just a regular Joe. Cool. So he's just having fun. Man, that makes it even better.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm going to have to jump off of here. I got to get going. It's been great getting back on here and talking with everybody. And we'll catch you. Oh, I've been to ask you, Chuck, do we have a photo show coming up?
Yeah, I dropped it in the description here for this, and
Okay.
I guess I should cover it again here in a minute. Yeah, February 4th, the first Saturday.
Okay.
And I had said I want everybody to do straight out of camera, but I got a lot of pushback on that, and I understand that. That's okay. So again, we'll just leave it open. Whatever you want to present is fine. It doesn't matter. And the parameters they're not rules, but some of the things to consider that's in the description as far as what size photo, how you submit it, and everything else. It's all in the description.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now underneath there.
Okay.
Okay. I'll have to get something shipped over to you. I'll have to quit uploading the AP Studios group so nobody knows.
It's hard to not share those photos, though, isn't it?
It is. And I enjoy getting on there and looking at everybody's posts and it's coming a long way. It's growing. Which is good.
Yeah. And thank you for the help in that too, by the way, David, as
no
an
problem.
admin over there, keeping track of it. So I think we kind of tag team, and Jim's good at this as well. I may miss somebody that's waiting for to become a member of the page. You guys seem to grab it, and then maybe I get the welcome for the individual. So either way, it doesn't matter as long as we keep it moving so people can actually get in there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. You and Jim both. J-Rod Photo Art, by the way.
All righty, you guys have a good one. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, buddy. Good to see you. Can't wait to see you again. Take care. Keep shooting, man.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So we are back with my wildlife photo up there to my right. That's my little lion, Mr. Leo, who's always in here aggravating me when I'm on a stream. All right. So now that we're caught up, meaning I missed a bunch of your comments, sorry about that, but we'll just keep plodding along. Again, if anybody would like to join the panel, all you have to do is send me an email and I will reply with a link that plays in your browser. The only thing I would ask is that you go to anything but Safari, but Chrome works well with Restream, so you'll be fine there. If not, if you do use Safari, we're going to have audio issues. I don't know what it is. Safari just doesn't handle the audio side very well. So again, yeah, if you'd like to, by all means do. If anybody would like to call in, let me throw this up here. Actually, let me do this and get rid of this. So the call line, I haven't even turned the phone on yet, but I can. If anybody would like to call, just let me know in the chat that you'd like to call, and I will set the phone up, and you're more than welcome to call and voice your opinion or statement or whatever it is, or share whatever it is you have on the phone. You won't have to type. All right. And Michael's asking, what are the topics for Saturday night show this weekend coming up? Don't know yet, Michael. And if anybody would like to suggest topics or whatever, by all means do so. You can email me at the email that I gave you just a minute ago at chuckomail@yahoo.com. And we'll consider that being the topic. Again, 104 live streams a year. Can you imagine trying to choose topics for every one of those? It's just impossible. How often would we be repeating? Now, there are days when there is going to be news out there, whether it's Canon, Sony, Nikon, Fuji, or even just other really interesting or important photo news. And I'll drop that in the thumbnail so that everybody knows we're going to at least start out with that. Otherwise, we're going to do just like we normally do. You guys pick the topic, and as you pick, we go along and comment. All right. All right. So as I was saying, our photo review is coming up on February 4th, which is the first Saturday of February. So we do the first Saturday of every month is our photo review. It's on February 4th again this year. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And it's not a critique. However, if you ask for some notable points or a critique, I'm sure that a lot of people will accommodate you. It's just an opportunity to share what you're doing other than on AP Studios group on Facebook, and to discuss how you came across the image, what you used to take the image, and everything else. And David Stewart is still working. I think he has it all now, but we're gonna try to implement some fun into this in future reviews. But again, it's all about you inspiring the rest of us with your photography, and that's what it does. You know, as we go through the photos, I'm inspired by just about everything I see, and I can't possibly go out and shoot all the genres that you guys come up with. But the photos have been fantastic, and we'll do it again here on February 4th. The email address, the size requirements, JPEG, and how you label the email and the subject line is all in the description. And you're more than welcome to go check it out. I would encourage everybody to jump in here with us on photo review night. We always have a good time. Unfortunately, sometimes there seems to be a hot button issue or bit of news going on in the camera world or the photo world. And we try not to let that interrupt our photo review. But, I mean, let's face it, a major announcement the day before, we're going to have to at least talk about it a little bit if it's on a photo review night. And, yeah, Anthony, good to see you, buddy. Anthony Tog Life. If you all haven't been over to his channel, go over there and check it out. Anthony does a great job of explaining lighting in its simplest form, and a lot of information there. But yeah, I know you just got back from imaging, so it was a great time, man. We haven't found anything on the web talking about Imaging USA. So if you'd like to come on the show and talk about it, that'd be great. Or if you'd just like to drop us a few tidbits and where we can go and look at what went on. I saw T-Mid's video there as you were on the plane waiting to taxi to your gate going home, but I haven't heard much about it, man. It looked like it was a beautiful setting, so you're going to have to tell us about it. Joe Man's Land. Joe, how you doing, buddy? I haven't watched your latest video. Sorry, I will after the stream. I was just too busy this morning to check it out. But there's another channel. You guys don't, if you haven't been there yet and you don't know Joe Man's Land, he's up in Canada. He's a youngster. I say that because I'm an old man. So anybody under 50 is a youngster. But a great channel, always entertaining. He does a great job, and he shoots a lot of different lenses and even adapted lenses. I think you'll find it interesting. I think his latest video is on, yeah, Joe, hang on. I'll do that. We'll get Joe in here and I'll let him explain it to you, but absolutely check out his channel. Roy, because of Z, I've lost my interest in AFD lenses and love using the AIs once again. Great. All right, let me jump over here real quick. Hang on, folks. Won't take but a second. All righty. Coming right back. Hang on just a minute. All right. All right, Joe should be there, man. You're welcome to join. And again, anybody else is welcome to join. Also, don't think that there's preferential treatment here. This is a community channel, and we're trying to keep it that way. And I'd like more of the community to participate. Let's see. Yeah, Joe, I'm not going to do straight out of camera. I'm not going to force that issue because a lot of people were saying that they'd rather not go down that route, or if they did, they want to give you two images, one straight out of camera and one with the edit. We'll just keep it simple and leave it as it is right now. I just thought it would be fun to actually do that early on, but you guys spoke, and I'll lay off that idea for just right now. And welcome, Mr. Joe Man's Land, all the way from sunny, warm Canada.
Man, it's like the bleakest day you could have said that on. It's like the Canadian geese are coming back, but it's so hazy out today.
I've had geese here recently flying over the house. So yeah, what they know something we don't is spring here.
Yeah, apparently, I guess I didn't get the memo, but how's it going?
It's going well, buddy. Going well. How about yourself?
Good. Just eagerly waiting for hopefully another Z6 update.
Oh, yeah. So what was the rumor on was it on the Z6 or Z6 II, Z7 II?
Z6 and Z7 actually. So they were thinking with all the new firmware updates that was coming out for going all the way back to D7100 that there might also be an update again for the Z6 and Z7, which I don't know if we really need it or deserve it, but I welcome it. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And everybody with the Z6 II, if that's your only camera, or Z7 II, has been hoping for a big update, firmware update, but Nikon hadn't shown any love there yet. And I'm wondering what the issue is. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, and the fact that they might put out another one, like that last Z6 update was what, 3-4 months ago? Like, that's so weird. Like, they don't put out an update for the longest time, then two within maybe a 4 to 5 month stretch. I mean, it's great, but I don't really know why.
Yeah.
Like they don't really need to do that. It seems like it's of the kindness of their hearts or something. I don't know.
Let me answer this real quick. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I should have put this out a little bit sooner, but again, I've received quite a bit of, emails and things about doing straight out of camera versus, leaving it as is. And so I'm not going to force that issue. However, if you want to leave your photo as is for the review, that's fine. And I'll make sure that I put in there for everybody that submits straight out of camera that it is straight out of camera. But if you'd like to submit another one instead, by all means do so, brother. So either way. Sorry about that. And Nancy, this is an interesting comment. Here we go, Joe. Just processed paperwork for ruggedized cameras, 1080p specifically for rocket launch vehicles. 9 of them were $270,000. Wow. And we thought Nikon cameras were expensive. Wow.
That's crazy. And it's only 1080p? That's nuts.
I'm guessing because of the frame rate they want, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, they must be wanting something like maybe 240 or higher. But even then, though, there's some really great slow motion cameras you can get that shoot, I think up to 6K, and I think they'll do 200, 400 frames, something like that. So, and they're 2 megapixels. The 2 megapixels, that's crazy. That's worse than my Nikon Coolpix.
Oh man. I'm just grabbing
woof.
I got a couple of comments here I want to get, and we'll continue to move on. Joe, you can help me out here. Cheers to everyone. I just started watching from the start. Hey, Johnny, thanks, man. Thanks for being in here today. I'm not waiting for a Z8, but for a Z6 III. I'm waiting for the Z8, but, and I've said this before, just to clarify for everybody here right now, if the Z8 is, a 100 megapixel camera or whatever it's going to be, and that so many people want, then I may opt out and wait for the Z6 III, because I've been doing a lot with video lately. And, the Z6 series is great for video. Even the Z6, the original, with that firmware 2.0 update, that's what I'm on right now for a streaming camera. And it doesn't miss a lick. It's fantastic. So, yeah, I'm willing to hold out for a Z6 III. And it's not that I don't want a Z8. I want the Z8 that I want. I know that sounds crazy. But if I don't get it, and I'm not going to throw a fit that I don't get it before anybody says anything, I'll just wait for the Z6 III because it interests me too. So I'm with you on that. However, if the Z8 is the baby Z9, then that's probably where I'm going to go. All right. And Ray had a question here. Anybody think the drone is doing away with war stills photographers? Everything now seems to be published on YouTube first. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big part of what's going on now in photojournalism, isn't it? John Ishii would probably take issue with that. And Roy's going to get one of those silicone body wraps for his camera when his Z9 comes back. Probably a good idea.
Actually, right. I was out shooting last night with a buddy of mine up just on Signal Hill there, and he has one of those Mini 3 Pros, which is what I'm going to eventually be picking up to replace my old Mavic Air. And he gave me the controller, I kid you not, for maybe 2 seconds, and a helicopter honed in on us and just started coming towards us. His kid's like, "Hey, Dad, look, that's a bigger drone." I'm like, "No, let's get out of here. He's got thermal," because they turned the thermal camera on. I was like, "No, please, no more."
Wow.
I got Michael here. It's cold. Yes, it is cold. It's actually not bad. It's like maybe 4 degrees right now. It's pretty good.
4 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, practically shorts weather. I'm spoiled.
I don't know about that.
When in Rome, aka Canada.
Oh. Not trying to keep up with the Joneses, but my big purchase is maybe not warranted, but will make me happy. A Z400 2.8. Man, it would make me happy. It would definitely make me happy. And that's what it's all about, man. Robert, go
Chuck's
for
happiness. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. My purchases are for my happiness. And often I make a mistake and I'm not happy. So
Well, that's why there's Craigslist, so it all pans out, right?
Yep. So here's Anthony. He just got back from Imaging USA. I mean, literally just got back. Venue was absolutely stunning, and thankfully they didn't have any issues with doing photo shoots on the property. That's great because I noticed you guys were out there having a ball. A lot of bigger YouTubers were there: Manny, Irene, Miguel, Seth Miranda. I saw in one clip where they had Seth Miranda up on stage. I know he was there to teach speed lights or something, so I did see him. But yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to WPPI for those reasons, Anthony. I can't wait to meet you out there and Team Mid and, Ike and well, Vahagen's going to be there. Can't wait to meet him in person. Going to be a lot of us out there. So I'm really looking forward to it at WPPI. Wish I could go to CP Plus, and I'm sure a lot of people do, but that's not going to happen. I'm not flying to Japan for a couple of days. So, yeah, man. You have any videos or anything coming up while you were out there? I know you did. I can't remember what it was for last year, but you did some vlogging and had some videos. I'm just wondering if you have any videos coming up while you were there. Jeff and Leslie Wildlife, Northern Kentucky rain, slush, dark, cold. And did I mention rain? Yeah. I know that we've been inundated with rain over here on the interior East Coast recently, and it doesn't look like it's going to change real soon. Wow. Pixin Perfect was there too, huh? Man. A lot of them were cool to talk to as well. Trade show floor was solid. Nikon and Sony weren't there though. Oh man. Maybe they're getting ready for CP Plus. That would make sense. But you would think Nikon USA would have had a placeholder there. Interesting.
Chuck, just on the topic of Nikon, Nikon US, not USA, but Nikon Canada, I applied to join NPS, just like the free version, like a little while back, and I only have one Z6. Like I don't have my B camera is an Osmo Pocket 2, so obviously that doesn't qualify as a B camera, nor does my F70. So I was like, okay, well I should be able to join anyways, right? I don't need two camera bodies. Well, I never got approved, so I called Nikon Canada. I was like, hey, can I still join? They're like, no, you have to have two cameras. I'm like, but I don't need two cameras. I have one. I have 3 batteries for my one camera. They're like, no, you can't join. Get another camera. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, can you guys send me some stuff to review? She's like, you're weird. I'm like, yes, I know. Then I ended up filling out this weird sponsorship form that was like for getting Nikon to come to like an event. I ended up just writing 5 paragraphs of like why they should give me free stuff. I was like, please send me a second camera so I can join your weird society. Like, I feel like I'm trying to join the Illuminati or something. Like, it's really complicated to get into.
Well, don't feel bad. There are a lot of people that have fought the NPS registration battle, me being one of them. I'm going to go for my 3rd bout here soon, though.
Nice.
Because I can now write off the channel as a money maker, even though it doesn't make any money. It just costs me money. But still, the idea is there. It's a YouTube channel that is consistent, blah, blah, blah. And I'm now an LLC for the channel. And maybe this will open the doors for me to get my foot into NPS. Although I have ragged on NPS so much, I don't think NPS USA is going to let that slide. They may make it as difficult as they can for me. My face is on a dartboard at Nikon USA, no doubt about it. And I did say a few things I probably shouldn't have said. I will admit that. But anyway,
yeah, it's okay. It's all in good fun. Daryl, I like your plan. Just get a serial number from a friend's camera and run with that. I found one on eBay. I think I might just pull that. I maybe shouldn't be saying that on the live cast, but yeah, some guy posted a photo of the serial number, and I was like, okay, that works.
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah, Jeff and Leslie, I love your take on it. The Nikon Peasant Society, the true meaning of NPS. Yeah, no, totally. I think that's the interesting thing. And Chuck and I've talked about this before, but like Nikon's target audience, like who are they really going after? And like I even said that in my application for the weird sponsorship thing. I was like, it's not me. I know it's not me. I'm not a retired doctor. I don't go birding, and I don't have like $10,000 to put into one lens. But if you send me that lens, then I could afford it. So that was kind of the logic. I don't know if it's a compelling argument, but we'll see what happens.
I just had the stream drop over here on the other screen on the other laptop. I'm wondering if everybody else, well, they wouldn't hear me if it has.
Yeah, Nikon's invading, Chuck. They're taking over. They
Yeah,
heard we're
yeah. There
talking
you
about
go, man.
MPS.
There you go. We brought it up.
No one says the NPS. No one talks about NPS.
Hey, Anthony, I'll be there next year. No doubt about it. If it's in Louisville, I'll be there because that's home for me. So, yep, I will definitely be there next year to Imaging USA. All right. Thanks, Jeff. I will. I'll leave it just as is, as you submitted, and we'll go from there, buddy. And I'll make sure we note that too, so everybody understands. When it's an incredible photo and it's straight out of camera, everybody will go, "Oh, that's hard to believe." If you've been watching the chat, I just saw your name here, so I'm going to pull it up. Joe Man's Land, it may be the file size transferring over radio signal from outer space.
It might be. You never know. Maybe this is where like all the money we've dumped into like expensive lenses from Nikon over the years, we're like, where did it go? It went into a satellite, and somehow I bet. Oh, what's that guy's name? The fancy rich guy in the U.S. with the rockets. You know the guy I'm thinking of.
Oh, Branson?
Musk.
No, Elon Musk.
Yeah, the Musk Nikon rocket. This could be a thing. Yeah.
Oh man.
Actually, so Chuck, I was going to ask you. Now that you've been getting more into video, what do you use for editing? Like, do you use Final Cut? Are you a Mac user? Audio wise, are you using like what kind of headphones do you use for editing? What's sort of your process?
I have the simplest editing piece there is. I shoot it and hand it to my stepson.
Nice. That's quality. I like that.
He's doing it in Premiere Pro.
Nice.
Only because he's been on that platform so long, and he doesn't want to go through the process of, learning. Well, Final Cut Pro, I don't think even entered his mind. But what is it? Daggone it. The big thing out there now.
DaVinci?
DaVinci, yes.
Oh, DaVinci's,
So many people have switched to DaVinci. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, DaVinci's great if you're really big on color grading and stuff like that. Like DaVinci definitely gives you the most control. But at least for me, like I'm trying to pop out a video a week on top of my job, so it's like Final Cut, I can cut it up really quick. I can put some background audio. It's got great presets for speaking. Like there's like a voiceover enhancement thing that just auto enhances everything you're doing, and like I don't know, for quick editing, it's definitely what I use. And I actually just picked these up for doing my audio balancing. They're these Bang & Olufsen. They're actually meant for the Xbox, oddly enough. But there was a pawn shop getting rid of them for like $80, and I was like, yes, these will work well.
My hearing's so bad, and I have tinnitus, so it just doesn't matter. I don't think any headphones are going to make a difference with me. If I can hear through them, that'll be fine. So I wouldn't be a great audio editor, that's for certain. Oh man,
that's okay. Your audio sounds good on your mic anyways, so you're good.
Oh man. Jim, J-Rod Photo Art says, give us a movie intro.
Okay, let's think. Okay. What's the upcoming CES? Is that the next? What's the next thing?
CP Plus.
Coming this year to CP Plus, Nikon will bring out another ZFC. You wanted it black, we painted it black. You wanted it pink, we painted it pink. This edition will be limited in the sense that we will create 100 of them and then charge way too much for the APS-C users of the Nikon community, which only apparently exist in Asia.
There you go. That's great. Hey, by the way, can you buy the ZFC black version in the US? I'm wondering because initially I thought it was limited to UK.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually, because I haven't seen it in Canada either. There was Oh, what's the name of that Australian fella? He does a lot of Nikon content.
Matt Irwin.
Yeah, Matt Irwin. Yeah, he was talking about it only being in Asia, and I think he was having issues even getting it in Australia. But I think there might have been like sort of an overlap just because of Australia being closer to that market. So yeah, it's interesting, but I really hope they don't repaint a ZFC and then come to CP Plus and they're like, hey, this is what you've been waiting for. This is the pinnacle of autofocus and low light performance.
Well, the Z50 folks are a little upset that they don't get a firmware update to at least bring it up to where the ZFC is for autofocus, and rightly so.
It's exactly the same camera. Like why not, right? Like, no, it's interesting. Actually, there was your video the other day I thought was really good, talking about maybe a potential box camera for video, and I would love to see Nikon take a dive into that, because I mean, you see what Blackmagic is doing. I mean, why not take a crack at it, but with a full frame sensor? There's definitely a market for that.
Yeah, I can't take credit for that. That Vahagen was the one that started on the box type cinema camera, just small, not a whole cine line. I had talked about it back in March of last year. Why couldn't Nikon provide for because they were so big into video with the Z9, and it looks like they're going to continue that, into the future, the video side of the house. Why couldn't they make at least a small set of cine lenses without, not true cine lenses, and everybody got bent out of shape, but you've already controlled the focus breathing in so many of these lenses. Why couldn't Nikon at least give us a set of cine lenses with very little changes, just for the video side? So I don't know. That box camera would be nice, though. It really would. There are so many people that are shooting video. I know they're not here in the chat, but you guys have to understand. I haven't appealed to the video shooters as much, to bring them in. But there are so many people that are into video today, and that's what they're using to buy their cameras. They're deciding on which camera to buy based on video specs and ergonomics and things like that. So who knows what we'll see from Nikon, but I hope, and that's the reason I'm more interested in the Z6 than the Z8. If the Z8 goes by way of uber mega pixel, sensor, I'm not interested in that.
No, 100%. I was toying with the idea of getting rid of my Z6 and getting a Z7, but then I was like, man, like why am I doing this? Like, I'm a video first shooter, and the Z6 definitely is a better video camera. And I just saw one question in the chat there from Martin Hild. Yes, this mountain is the Canadian Rockies. It is Kananaskis. It's I took this on the side of a road because, as usual, when I went to do my sunrise shoot, I left 5 minutes before it got good. So I had to pull over on the side of the highway and take this when the park ranger pulled up behind me. Like, sir, you cannot stop here. And I just said, no English. And he said, you're speaking English now. And I was like, nope, I'm leaving. I just got out of there, but it's a good spot.
Well, I'm looking at the chat over here to make sure I'm not too far behind. Of course I am behind, but what's new? I guess I could always look over at the other monitor too.
Someone, I like Ray's comment, the Z32. Oh, I'm so excited. I swear to God, if they put out another APS-C body this year, that's the kind of thing that would make me consider switching brands, because I get that Nikon's market share is a lot smaller, and they can't put out a single camera every single year, like a brand new one. It's been, at that point, it'll be 2 years. 2 years. And it's at a certain point, innovate a bit and put out something new that's awesome.
Oh, man. I will come unglued. I mean, totally unglued, have to be hospitalized. If Nikon announces something crazy at CP Plus, like the Z32
paired with the 85 knocked or something like that. Something completely unusable.
No. Even worse, the full frame ZFC being a ZF.
It
I'm not
hurts.
saying I don't want Nikon to do that, but I don't want them to do it right now. Right now, let's get some cameras in the game. You know, that's where we need to be, and I think most of the consumers feel that way. Yeah, it was a knockout punch last year. Z30. That's it. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Lots
Yeah.
of giant zooms, telezoom, super zoom, zoom, whatever. But and I think they covered that well enough, although they need to get them out in the field, get them out to the people that are wanting them. But how about some love for every other form of photography under the sun other than wildlife and bird? You know,
Well, and the other thing as well is like when you think crop sensor, I don't really think you think about Nikon that much. At least I don't, anyways. Like I think Fuji every single time, and I don't see them. Like I mean, I know some people in the chat will say that the ZFC sales have been through the roof in different markets, and that's probably true. But I still don't think when you think crop, you think Nikon. Like I don't think that's the battleground that they should be carving out for themselves. The full frame hybrid camera market, I think, is really where they shine. Because I
well,
mean, especially as a photo video shooter, like I can toggle between photo video instantly. There's no like
yeah,
lag between switch. Like
yeah.
no other brand offers that.
Well, Nikon spoiled us with the D500. And then that means from that point forward, Nikon was going to have to keep a relevant APS-C Pro body in the mix. And I don't have a problem with the APS-C Pro body. I think it's a great idea. I thought they were going to do it last year. I thought the Z30 was the start, and then they would give us a Pro body APS-C as well last year. Well, it didn't happen. I want to see Nikon do that because there are quite a few people that do want it. And of course, they also want the 2 to 600, but I want to see a full frame camera in the lineup other than the Z9 because there are so many people waiting like you. You're trying to decide what you want to do as far as Z6 to Z7 or whatever, but there are people out there that are waiting to drop their Z7, Z7 II or Z6, Z6 II for a new body. And before everybody goes crazy saying, well, they don't need it or whatever, it doesn't matter what they need. It's what they want. And Nikon needs to get us that lineup, the team, the base team on the floor playing for Nikon right now. It needs to have more than one player. And that's what we have. We have the Z9. That's all we have. So my point is get us that at least a full frame body out there, whether it's a Z6 III, Z7 III, Z8, and then entertain some of the other cameras that people are wanting. Not against APS-C Pro body, not at all. I own a D500. So I understand what they're looking for, even though I don't shoot it anymore. And I didn't shoot it very much at all because it really wasn't what I thought it was going to be for me. But anyway, yeah, I will come unglued though with some weird announcement about something that is for a niche within the Nikon community. That will drive me crazy. So, all right, I rambled enough on that.
They partner with Bing to bring back Bing Maps.
T-Mid, good to see you in here, buddy. I know you've been out there having a ball at Imaging USA. I watched your stream a little bit this morning as Tog Life was flying back to Las Vegas. Keep it going, brother. Keep it going. I hope you had a good time. Yeah, Roy saying most Z lenses are great for video. I will agree with that. And that's all I've been using, shooting things for my stepson. Matter of fact, he'll be back over here probably towards the end of the week to do some more of his videos. We'll be using the D800 or D800. Wow, blast from the past. That's worse than R8 in my last video. We'll be using the Z900. Or Z9. Gah! Thinking out loud gets me in trouble. The Z9, that is. All right. Next, talking about the Z6 III. Big deal with tracking minimum in the Z6 III. Well, that's one piece. It also has to have 10-bit internal because that's what all the video makers are asking for. So there you go. And we'd like to see at least 6K in the Z6 III. and 4K 120 because it's video stuff. Oh.
16-bit. Yeah, that would be nice, Roy. Well,
Yeah.
I actually I'd be curious to get your guys' feedback into chat. Have any of you sent your camera into like Z6 or Z7 to Nikon and had that 10-bit internal unlocked? Because at one point they were doing a program where you could pay like 250
Yep.
bucks and you could get that piece added on. I toyed with the idea, but I was like, oh no, they're going to release new camera suits. There's no point in doing that. And it's been about a year. Then I think the program maybe got axed, but I'd be interested to see if anyone's done that and what the results have been, because if they don't release a Z6 III or something more mid-tier price this year, I might do that.
I'm sorry, I was looking at another comment. I'm trying to catch up. I'm a terrible host.
It's all good, Chuck. It's okay. I got a work message I got to respond to. It's all good.
Oh man.
Actually, fun thing for you, Chuck. I reached out. I've got a project that I'm working on, and like for work, and I was trying to find a YouTuber to cover it for me, and I thought, oh, like, why don't I reach out to Peter McKinnon? And I got a quote. Oh my God, I need to switch professions. The McKinnons, like, it was so expensive. I was like, we can't afford that, but that's lovely. He was so nice, but I was like, no, that's too much. I'll do it.
There you go. How many? He's got like how many million subscribers does he have?
5 somewhere in there.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a big draw.
Oh, 100%.
Big money maker there. Brian, I shoot 8K video with the A1, so many options to crop, create different shots, and post with no loss in quality when delivering 1080p. Absolutely. It's awesome, large files, but nice to work with. Yeah, and that a lot of people that don't shoot video, they say, why do you need it? Because you can't, there are very few mediums to actually show 8K video today, although I guess the 8K video I saw out at CES was kind of a flop. Or not 8K video, 8K TVs. Wasn't as big a deal as they expected it to be. But anyway, yes, it's in the process of having 8K to work with. That's what those that don't shoot video don't understand. You're not gonna render it in 8K, but by shooting in 8K, it gives you so much latitude to do so many things with the footage that you have. And of course, not necessarily with 8K, but with 4K. 4K 120 is phenomenal. And why is it phenomenal? Who shoots at 120 frames per second? Well, those that are doing B-roll. So yeah, all these things are important. If you're not a video shooter, you don't understand. And that's why it's so important that Nikon continue down this path that they're going right now. Z8 II around the corner. Yeah, it'll be around the corner, all right. It may as well be, because we haven't seen the Z8 yet. Yeah, and let's talk about this for just a second as far as APS-C goes. Okay, so APS-C has a place. Its special place for a lot of people is just, especially in the pro market, APS-C pro body, is for birds in flight, for wildlife. I mean, beyond that, it really takes a back seat to everything else. The only other thing that it does for a lot of people, and I'm going to get a lot of hate here, I know, but that's okay. I'm used to it. Yeah, it's fine, is in price point. Okay. So the price point's lower. So why would people choose APS-C over full frame? 9 times out of 10, if it's somebody that isn't in a specific genre, they're just buying a camera, it's cheaper. And that makes sense, especially if it has a pro build. You get a pro build body cheaper. And if you happen to be a wildlife shooter, then you get the other benefit of a 1.5 crop factor. So your lenses become super teles overnight. I mean, immediately. But beyond that, what is the draw for APS-C? Why not just a typical APS-C camera, unless you want it for birds and wildlife photography. And people could say, well, I just want one. Okay, that's valid. I get that. You can just want it and get it. But my point here is that, Nikon needs to get the full frame bodies, a full frame body, if not two, in the hands of the consumer, and then look at the pro body APS-C camera. And if am I missing something, you guys can send me some more hate mail. I'm good with that. I know you don't mean it, but but I'm good with it. You're
Chuck,
passionate.
I can't disagree with you on that as well, right? Like I used to shoot APS-C with my D7100, then with my XT20, and my Z6 was the first full frame camera I bought ever, other than film cameras, right? And I think that APS-C has a space, and I think the only other area that you can maybe make a valid argument for is it a B shooter that you want to have a small form factor on, right? Because if I'm just carrying a basic Fuji kit, like let's say an XH2 with two zooms and one prime, I could easily fit that into my daytime bag without having to really worry about it as much. So I think that's really the only case where it's like, oh, like at least for me, it would make sense, right? Like if I was going to buy a B camera right now, I'd buy an XH2 with one zoom lens, and that would kind of do for me what I need, right? But in terms of an A camera, yeah, like you're saying, like unless you're shooting birds, you need that extra telephoto. There's not really a good point, because I mean, even when you're shooting full frame on the Z6 and you want to punch it, you can go DX, but then you lose megapixels. So at least when you're shooting on the APS-C, you're not going to lose that quality punching in.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Nikon spoiled us when they gave us the D500. Now, I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but it did spoil us, because a lot of people realized, wow, I can have all this in an APS-C body, all the pro features. And we didn't have anything before. And I guess some people may want to discuss that too, but we didn't have anything before. We did have the D300 in DSLR. I mean, of course. And the D300S giving us some video, which was lackluster at best. And it was a pretty rugged body also. But the D500 excelled when it came to pro body build, but in an APS-C body. So I understand why everybody, fell in love with it. Or not everybody, but those that bought it. I didn't. It's okay. It's a great camera. Don't get me wrong, but it's not for my needs. I shot events with it. So I was always, having to figure out, okay, what wide lens am I going to pack today just to carry the D500 for this event? All right. Roy still on his lens mount on his Z9. I'm going to sneak into the Nikon factory, put some more screws in their Z lines mount. Yeah, a lot of people talked about that early on, asking if that was going to be an issue. I don't know that it is, but when you break the lens mount, you got to wonder, okay, why did it break? Other than it dropped off a tripod from 5 feet. I mean, oh man.
While you're there, maybe take all the ZFC sensors and just put them in a corner. Put them in a corner and get rid of all the colors of paint. We want one color of paint for cameras, black, nothing else. The special editions, nothing, just full frame black camera.
Yeah. Here you go. Anita talking about she loves her 500 for wildlife and birds. There you go. Absolutely. I understand that. Again, you get to buy reasonably priced glass for more reach. That's fine. That's great. I get it. Absolutely. Okay. Mr. Z Wade jumped in. He's probably been in there for 15 minutes, but I'm stuck in comments way above. Sorry, Zach. Loved your video today. We need to see more She Wade giving us reviews and news, man. I just got to tell you. If you haven't been over, go check out Z Wade's latest video. Just dropped this morning. And She Wade makes an appearance. So it's definitely worthwhile going. Sorry that she's showing you up, Zach, but I mean, I got to tell you, she's entertaining. Oh. All right, here we go. I'm going to have to jump again. Sorry, I'm getting so far behind. All right. Da, 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 da. Ah, all right. Bam. Man, made it to the bottom, scrolling as fast as I could. Yeah, there you go. And another plug for the D500 from Roy here. Absolutely. D500 2 to 500 mil lens was a killer budget sports wildlife combo. I agree. I guess I'm just not shooting enough of that. That wasn't my. I don't even know why I bought the D500. Honestly, I don't know. I wanted it. That's why.
Oh, Chuck. I like how most people would be like, well, I've got this very unique sports shoot at the river and I need it for this. Chuck's like, nah,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I
Actually,
just,
I was at my buddy's place the other day and like I've seen the definition of hoarding now. He had a whole table of old film cameras and then I think like 10 different Canon DSLRs, 4 of which were the same body. I was like,
wow.
why do you have 4 of the same one? He's like, well, what if the other 3 break? And I was like, but you shoot mirrorless now. So the argument's null and void. Like it just made no sense at all.
Ray says if Henry Ford made cameras, they would be in one color, black. Yeah, that's true. And also, Ray, don't forget there would only be one model, and it would never change. That was his intent.
Yeah.
He
And there would never be
didn't.
supply chain issues.
Yeah, he didn't care about innovating in any other way other than this is what people need, this is what they get, which is what a lot of camera manufacturers do from time to time. It seems like. Oh man.
One of these days, we're going to get like a Nikon press release, and it's just going to go like this. So, you've been waiting for the 85 1.2? Well, guess what? There's a parts shortage. We're announcing it now, so you can get a ZFC while you wait.
Yeah.
We've got lots of those. Lots.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I guess that's the other thing we need to prepare ourselves for. We need to go to therapy now. Call your therapist, tell them, or make an appointment. Because whatever they announce, if it's something that's a big deal for Nikon shooters, we're going to get that announcement that we're sorry, due to overwhelming whatever for this product, we are unable to deliver in a timely manner. Whatever it is they say, I'm going to have to get that. I'm going to post that. I'm going to actually copy that and put it up on the wall here somewhere.
Nikon's like blanket press release for any new product that's not crop sensor.
Again, the reason my name or my photos on a dartboard at Nikon USA for making these statements. You're not allowed to talk negatively.
Stop talking about us. We don't have supply chain issues. We're just too popular.
Now, if I shot Sony or Canon and I was picking on Nikon, then they would let that slide. But the problem is I shoot Nikon and I make these statements. I think that's what really riles them up. When I go to WPPI, I'm sure Nikon's going to seek me out and try to trap me in an NDA, give me some great thing. No, I'm just kidding.
They're going to give you a ZFC to like review, and then they're going to make you sign an NDA that signs away your life.
Yeah, the only reason they would give me an NDA is to keep me from talking about them.
Yeah.
We're going to give this guy an NDA and send him a lens every now and then to review before it's actually announced. That'll keep his mouth shut. If I signed the NDA, that would. Let's see.
Oh, I love it. Anyways, Chuck, I got to bounce here. I got another meeting coming up, but good talking to you. Thanks for having me, and nice to see everyone in the chat being super active. Keep it up, everyone, and remember, Chuck is our support system. He's talking about therapy for us. If the announcement's bad, it's Chuck. So we need Chuck to be an anchor, and then we'll all come and cry to him about the ZFC 3.0. The best video ever. Oh, before I go, I see Michael McDermott. You got any professional photography? Yes, I got one at a distillery. Doing a video shoot for them, and then I've got a wedding gig. I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that. So yeah, I got a couple things. It's definitely not my main source of income. It's something I like to do for fun. But yeah, occasionally I get some kind of fun projects. I'm looking forward to the distillery one. It should be a good time.
Good, man. Good. And that jogs my memory here. February 11th is the target date. We're going to have a get together on, it's going to be, so that's a Saturday night. That will be a stream about professional photography. What do you have to do to get into professional photography, meaning a business, meaning it's your profession? A lot to be gleaned for people that aren't willing to do that. But there have been a lot of people that want to know, how do I get in business doing this, that, whatever? And I've got six string Ryan in here now. He may be a part of it. It may conflict with what he's doing as far as his professional business goes. But I'm going to have several individuals on the show that night, and they're going to talk you through real quick, either incorporating LLC or sole proprietorship, something you would need to do prior to establishing your business, and licensing and insurance, and just going over some of these things. If you want to be a pro photographer out there on the trail, making a living at it, then these are the things you'll need. And we bring that up right off the bat because so many people think, I want to be a pro photographer because I love photography. I'll shoot every day and constant blah, blah, blah. Well, when you get into the business of photography, it takes a lot of that fun away, unless you have somebody doing it for you on the side, meaning you have to get into the business aspect. And that's the part that's not so fun. And also all the editing that you're doing. You may like editing until you start doing it professionally, and then you're overwhelmed, especially if you're doing extremely well and getting lots of gigs. So anyway, we're going to bring it up, and you get to pick their brains on what made them successful, ideas on their genre. And we're talking about wedding, portrait, corporate headshots, corporate interview type things with video even, and things like that. So I think it'll be a good time for all, and hope everybody will look forward to it. I'll give you a list of who's actually going to be speaking, and I'm going to stay out of the way and let them talk, and you guys can pick their brains for all their information. So that's coming up. Looks like February 11th. So kind of mark that on your calendars, and we'll confirm it as soon as we can. All right. Sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to keep you in here for it all, but you
it's all good. I'll be there to ask questions about how to fix what I do now, because my sole proprietorship sucks, and the name doesn't even match what I'm doing now. So they're like, why are you invoicing me with this name? Your name is not Kevin. And I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't another lifetime. Maybe Kevin was a business partner I had that turned out not to be a good guy. Well, I want to talk to Kevin, not you. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling.
No,
have a great day, Chuck.
You too, buddy. Thanks for being in here. Talk to you later, Joe. Have a good one, brother.
My pleasure, Chuck. Yeah,
everybody go check out Joe Man's Land. All right. Thank you, Charles. Good to see you in here, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Yes, please, likes. For those that just jump in and listen to us in the background, don't participate in the chat, that's fine. That's absolutely okay. But if you haven't subscribed, I'd like to ask you if you would, because we grow the channel, continue to grow the community. We just make it better for everybody. Lots of experience over there in the chat. I don't claim to be the answer all for anything, but the wonderful thing is there's so many smart people over there in the chat that are willing to answer your questions. And if you just want to state an opinion, that's fine too. That's what this is all about. It's a big round table for photographers to enjoy, especially when you don't have somebody at home or readily available to talk about photography, cameras, lenses, or whatever. That's what started this channel. My wife, after about 2 minutes, would go away. I got it. I'm done. I don't care. So I know that there are others out there that fall into that category as well. You may not have somebody to talk to about your photography passion, but you're welcome to do it here. All right. Let's see. Glad to hear that, Charles. Glad to hear you doing better, man. Let's see. I'm not too far away from wrapping it up today. I do have something I could be doing, but kind of put it aside to make sure we got the stream in. Tony Day. Let's see. Base ISO will probably be as noisy. I guess I could throw it up on the screen. Will be as noisy than equivalent gain on full frame. Sony, for example, uses 2 gain structures. Yep. I do a lot of uhs, don't I? I'm trying to figure this out, Ray. I'm sorry, I'm lost in this comment. See, did you see my message about using a negative ionizer? I don't know what that is, as it's a dust magnet. Okay, I don't know what that is. Or ionizer. It's not L, Chuck. It's I, dummy. Ionizer. Okay. Yeah, I've used the ionizer on the air thing filter machine in the house, and I noticed that dust just it's unbelievable at how much dust I find after running that thing. I guess it just attaches the dust, not molecules or larger than that, but it all falls to the ground. Or I turned it off. Maybe I'm not using it right. That is very possible. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. All right. So we are caught up. We are caught up. Hard to believe. I mean, at the expense of skipping over a bunch of comments, but sorry about that. All right. Yeah, we're falling on 2.5 hours so far, and it won't be long before I'm out of here, unless somebody wants to come in. By all means, do so. But again, I do have something I could be doing, but I wasn't going to miss the opportunity to open the chat up for everybody to get in here and talk today. And I'm really happy with all the folks that have trickled through. Again, like I said before, I may have a max of say 50 or 60 that shows up in the analytics, but they're not the same 60. I mean, people are constantly coming and going, and I like that. I appreciate it. So we may have 200 people that go through the stream on any given day. And I'd just like to invite everybody that does. If you have more time to stay, please do. If you want to actually communicate with us, please do. The chat is always open for your comments, your opining. It's as important as mine or anybody else's. All right. Nancy says, while the ionizer is running, it causes dust to cling to the walls. Yeah, once you cut it off, all the dust will fall to the ground. And I didn't know that part. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it can only help the dust problem. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we had a comment before. We were talking before about something to do with not just air quality, but humidity. Maybe, I don't know. Charles, well, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. Is that a good thing? At least trying to stay consistent. That was my goal when I started it. I wanted to be consistent. And as my bride would say, it keeps me out of trouble being in here. But thank you very much, Charles. Yeah, thank you, Michael. You're always mentioning the likes and subscribes. I appreciate that. Obviously, I do need the reminder because I don't talk about it as often. But thank you very much. We're just having fun. We're trying to anyway. Nancy says, too much ozone from them is not good. The ionizers, that is, not good for your lungs. Be careful if you use them. Well, I just gain more and more knowledge every time we do a live stream because I watch the chat and you guys keep me up to date on things I shouldn't be doing. Camera gear, equipment, lenses, you name it. You guys are great. You guys and gals. I got to start saying that because we do have some ladies that show up to our streams, and I want to make sure everybody welcomes them. When you see that we have a lady in the chat, say hello. Ladies take photos too, not just guys. All right. I know. There I go. Uh, there you go. I mean, thank you, Jeff and Leslie. Uh, AP Studios, if an activity is a hobby, you do it for relaxation. Never make it a job. Absolutely, I agree. And so far I've been able to do that only because I wanted to do it. And like I told everybody early on, when it's no fun anymore, I'll quit doing it. We've had a couple of bumps in the road, but that's okay. I'm not going to throw everything away because of a couple of bumps, but I'm still having fun, and I hope you guys are too. I think it's evident by the fact that you do show up quite often, frequently. Some people every stream, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am for that. To have a core on the stream that show up almost every stream that we do. And that's incredible. And my hat's off to you. That I say I'm humbled, but because I am, I don't understand why people would want to sit around and listen to me. Maybe it isn't about me. Maybe they don't want to listen to me. They just want to enjoy themselves in the chat. But that's okay too. Let's provide a place where people can enjoy themselves. But I am humbled, and thank you all very much for that. Oh, there you go. This is why we're going to listen to you, Nancy. NASA ordered it and gave you instructions on how to use it. You have now become the ionizer official for AP Studios. So I appreciate that. All right, Jeff. Canon unlocking APS-C. What do you mean by that, Robert? What did I miss? Maybe there was a comment that prompted that before. Oh man, I didn't know that. I don't watch the Super Bowl. All right, throw things at me now, but I don't watch Super Bowl. Day before Super Bowl, February 11th, we need 100 more subscribers and 100 viewers in the live stream professional photography school in session. Yeah, that'd be nice. I hope that we do. I hope some other folks show up and, actually see what we do over here and enjoy it. I really do. Thank you very much, Jay Kimmer. It's hard to believe I can make anybody's day happy, but I accept that. Thank you very much. My wife would probably, she would tell you that most days I make her happy. Other days, maybe not so much, but wow. Jim, man, J-Rod Photo Art went to CVS to get some 35 millimeter developed. They said 1 to 2 months. Man, did they give you any reason? Is it just that they have that much now that they're developing, or is it tied to some kind of an issue? Interesting though. Wow. Only photographers would understand. No one else was the talk photo tech. You're right, Nancy. You're right. And again, that's my wife. She loves me and she'll entertain me for a couple of minutes and then, okay, I've had enough photography stuff or camera stuff, as she would say. Oh man. The Chuck Therapy channel. See, there are a lot of channels out there I call my therapy channel. One is Jeffrey's Selective Imagery. I just love listening to him talk about the birds. I love Jeff and Leslie wildlife photography when they post their videos. And I used to really enjoy Josh's channel, and I'd love to see him come back to YouTube. But, you have to understand how much time it takes for him to produce what he was producing, and I guess it was just too much at the moment. So, but I loved it. That was a therapy session for me. It's 10, 15, whatever minutes of just sit back, drink your coffee, and enjoy the show. I really enjoyed that. Roy says 1 to 2 months. Another reason I don't like film anymore. Yeah, Jim, you're gonna have to get you an enlarger and buy the chemicals and start doing your own black and white prints, man. I did that in my garage with a makeshift enlarger that I actually built out of another camera. Had a good time doing it too. Oh man, Seville, Spain. Wow, Martin, that ought to be a great trip. I would love to travel like that. You know, my hat's off to you folks that are in Europe, anywhere in Europe, because everything is just a drive away. That's fantastic. Oh, okay. Okay, Robert. They say that Sony APS-C being unlocked, starting the results are going to be full frame like quality. Okay. Hey, there's no doubt technology marches forward. That's why so many things are changing. And, you know, we're beating physics now. Unfortunately, it's with AI, but I mean, it's working. So look at the lenses that we're getting and cameras. Crazy not carry. All right, Jeff. Yeah, I was wondering if, you know, B&H develops too, don't they? I thought they did. I just wondered for kicks and grins. I wondered what what the timeline is at B&H if they are developing. I thought they were. Yeah, he is into bike riding. I remember that when I talked to him last. It's been many months ago. He was trying to get in shape and do a lot of different stuff. Yeah. But your coworker told you Josh is bike riding with tight pants. Well, good for him, man. I don't know about the tight pants part, but good for him. He's at least riding a bike and getting in shape. That's crazy. All right. All right. Still caught up with the comments. You guys are great, man. Again, I say it over and over, and I really mean it. Maybe next Christmas, I'm going to have to get Christmas cards out for those that want to send me an address so we can mail out Christmas cards to everybody. Now, I say that, and some freak thing will happen, and we'll wind up with 400,000 subscribers that only watch once, by the way, and then I'll have to send out 500,000 Christmas cards. That would be a mistake, wouldn't it? I'm just dreaming over here, folks, just dreaming. All right. So again, let me go back to understand that we just finished Imaging USA. Really nothing came out of that as far as camera gear announcements or lenses or anything else. We have CP Plus coming up approximately 3 weeks from now in Japan, and all hopes are on CP Plus. There have been cameras announced as CP Plus in the past. There have been some that were delayed and were supposed to be announced at CP Plus. Go over to buytom.com, Tom Hogan's website, and he talks about that. So it's really interesting read. I don't spend a lot of time checking Tom Hogan out. However, there are times when he has some really interesting articles over there. And right now is one of those times, and you'll get to read about NDAs and sources and things like that for camera rumors and what circular reporting is, if you don't already know. But anyway, we have CP Plus, and we are expecting, it doesn't mean that we're going to get it, but we are expecting to get an announcement from Nikon. Don't know what it's going to be. We expect it to be the Z8. It could be something completely different. They may not even call the camera we're talking about a Z8. I don't know. But once we get an announcement, if we do at CP Plus, then we're going to be able to look at the rest of the line and kind of figure out what's left. I say that because we're still in two camps on the Z8 thing, high megapixel or a baby Z9. And there are good arguments either way. I know which way I'd like to see Nikon go on that, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world if they don't go my way. Just the bottom line is Nikon gets us another full frame body out there. So instead of a one camera lineup, we have at least two. I'd like to see three. So maybe we get, well, I doubt we'll get two announcements. But anyway, Z7 III, that's fine. Z6 III, I might be overwhelmed with that camera. I really, I'm looking forward to seeing the specs on that. So I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I know that I'm waiting, impatiently waiting for something out of CP Plus. So that happens in about 3 weeks. Right after that, we have WPPI. That's out in Las Vegas. I'm going to WPPI. I'm not going to ask all of you to go to WPPI. I'd love to see you there, but I know it's an expense and things like that. Not everybody can do it. But anybody that's at WPPI or going to be going, let me know. I definitely want to link up while I'm there. Going to have fun. The Hoggin's going. And again, Ron Pollard's going. It might be dangerous for WPPI that the three of us are actually out there together. But anyway, WPPI could become the glass box event. What do I mean by that? That could be the opportunity for Nikon to showcase what it is that they announce at CP Plus. I'd like to think so. A Z8 under glass at WPPI. Don't know that they'll do that. Obviously, T-Mid just talked about they weren't represented. Nikon, that is, weren't represented at Imaging USA. Neither was Sony. I think they're all gearing up and getting ready for CP Plus. Or at least that's the rumor I'm going to start. There you go. There you have it. They didn't make Imaging USA because they are getting ready for the big event, CP Plus, where they're going to talk about all these new wonderful cameras and lenses that are coming out that we haven't even heard about yet. But after that, hopefully there'll be something under glass on the Nikon table at WPPI, and we'll at least get a real look at, a camera or a lens that we haven't seen before. 85 1.2 developmental announcement. I think it's more like they're getting ready to announce it officially and then open up deliveries for that lens. Same thing for the 26 millimeter pancake 2.8 lens. And everybody that's waiting for the 35 1.2. Not a lens that interests me. I don't care for the focal length so much. And at 1.2, I don't think it would matter if I were going to buy a 35, whether it's 1.2 or 1.8 or 2.8 or whatever. But I know a lot of people do care. And I'm hoping you get what you want. That's the way it should be. We all get what we want. Nikon just goes into Build-A-Bear manufacturing, meaning you go online and check all the blocks, just like checking accessories for a car or whatever, and have them build the camera that you want. That's where we need to be, right? All right. Sebastian, good to see you. And Roy's talking about Nikon Z1. I don't know, Roy. I don't think the Nikon Z1 is going to make an appearance or they're going to discuss it or not. But be assured that there is secret planning going on for a Z1 at Nikon headquarters. Yep, it's happening as we speak. What's it going to be? Well, can't say just yet, but it's coming. It's coming. All right. What else do we have? That's all the news that we have. Time for bed for Roy. I just scrolled back up. Yep, it's early morning for him. Thank you, Roy, for being in here. I can't believe that you get up so early to come in, but I'm happy that you do. Always appreciate you being in here. Street photogs for the 35 1.2 is what Roy says. All right. Will it be a huge lens, though? Do you think at 1.2? It ought to be interesting. 35 1.2. All right. I think that's about it, folks. I'm going to wind it up now only because I got a couple of things to do. Like I said earlier, I hate to because we got so many people still in here, 46 viewers. And I don't know what your tally is that you're seeing. But it's always a great time. Again, I'm not going to make these streams shorter. Don't get me, don't take this as an indication that we're going to start shortening up the streams. I don't intend to do that. I don't mind 3 hours, but there are days when I have a couple of things that I do need to get done. And today is one of them. But looking forward to Saturday night. Have no idea what we're going to talk about. You guys can tell me. And oh, by the way, the information for you becoming a panel member in here live when we're streaming is in the description. So, check it out. If you had any wish to be on here speaking with everybody, give it a try. Again, this isn't a This isn't a good old boys club. You do see a lot of the same faces, and looking forward to Roy dropping in again anytime he wants. But you see the same faces because these are people that are willing to come on, get up here, and make a fool of themselves. That's what we do, right? Don't worry about it. You're in good company if you want to come on and be live. And by all means, I invite anybody that would like to come. It just makes the stream that much stronger. It's so much more fun when we have a lot of banner going on, even up here in the panel, but always focusing on what's going on in the chat because that is the community. All right. Have I babbled enough yet? Oh. All right, folks. Yep. Everybody have a great lunch if you didn't. And I got to go over to I can't remember his handle for my steak. I hope he put one on the grill for me. That sounded so good earlier, man. But anyway, everybody have a wonderful day. God bless you all. I hope to see you and your friends on Saturday night for yet another chat, if you can make it. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll be back.